them. His coach believes he can still be a representative level player. You get a chance to try and prove that here tonight as his side searches for their first win of the season.
Well, they've got to play fast and flat. Luke Brooks, I think it's going to help him too that Jacob Little comes back into the side. A heap of pressure on the young fella. He just aims up about it every year in and year out. Just keeps turning up. He needs a little bit of a hand from his forward pack here this evening. He's a good kid. I think he's got a good footy brain, but as far as steering a team around the park, he's better when he runs the football. That'll be the instructions. Good runner of the ball. Just don't worry about controlling the game. You run the ball.
It'll be the Tigers defending the Leagues Club or southern end of Campbelltown Stadium to begin this one as Reece Walsh waits for an all clear. We're underway here on Friday night footy, the first of two massive games coming your way. Great to have your company as it's Uta Ikamanu who will play it here. 10 out from the Tigers line. A bit of rain around the southwestern suburbs of Sydney. For the moment, though, the sun breaks through. That's a great sign. And the Tigers have it here through Seyfarth, who gets his chance starting forward pack tonight in this reshuffled lineup. Luke Garner moving from the second row out to play out there on that right edge in place of James Roberts. Stafford Toll, of course, on the left-hand side, making his club debut on the wing outside the Englishman Oliver Gildart. Here is Tamou. Brings it up towards the halfway line. So decent metres here in this opening set for the home side as it goes from Little back to Jock Madden in the team. You'd imagine for the next 3 games, Jackson Hastings having rolled the dice at the judiciary during the week and lost after that dangerous throw last week on Tex Hoy against the Newcastle Knights. The Warriors to work it away. Strong defence here from West. Rocco Berry going backwards here. And play it just inside the 20. Now ball hits the deck. Dived on for the Warriors by Arthurs. Tackle's gone. And they're still working it away from deep inside their own territory. Just outside the 20. Goes from Wade Egan. He's grabbed a couple of tries in the opening weeks of the competition. 1 in each round so far as Walsh. From just outside his own 30, it's a massive kick he's put in here. Goes down to Dane Laurie, the back 3 for the Tigers. Had plenty of issues last week in that loss to the Newcastle Knights. We'll see if the Warriors test them out under the high ball again here this evening.
Yeah, good start from both sides there. Just having a look at Luke Brooks, the third tackle on this left-hand side. Just took a little bit of a knock there, got himself in front. James Tamou with a couple of good tackles early. Just trying to set the scene now for the Tigers.
Well, it's Leilua down that right-hand side to play just outside the Warriors 40. Little goes to Madden. Look in and skip to the outside, wrapped up there by Ewan Aitken and also Berry. Here's Brooks. Left boot to ball. Walsh coming forward. Moves the ground to make the catch. The chase there coming through from Joe Offahen-Gowie. Didn't get there in time to make a contest of it. But again, the Warriors begin from deep inside their own territory.
Yeah, it's all about line speed now for the Tigers. They've got themselves in a position there. Luke Walsh took the ball on the full, but give away the penalty. I mentioned the line speed. Just a little bit too enthusiastic there. Give away the opening penalty of the game.
This happened a number of times last week. The Tigers gave away cheap penalties for the Knights to help themselves out of their own end. Downstairs for the first time tonight to Matt Russell.
Good evening, Warren. Beautiful evening here in Campbelltown. Very still. The surface is absolutely pristine. Fantastic to play footy on, but it might get greasy as the 80 minutes unfold. So an early lead would be worth something to these teams. They're here to beat the opposition, but firstly, they have to stop beating themselves. The Tigers, 25 errors combined over the first 2 weeks. The Warriors not much better, 23. And then they haven't had the resilience to hold on after that.
First up test for them right here, Matt, as we go to Walsh, and then it comes away to Ewan Aitken on that left-hand side. He won't be a Warrior in 2023, Aitken. Gonna move on, doesn't know where to yet, though. Here is Harris DeVita kicking in behind them. Laurie on his bike, uses his speed. He has plenty of it, but so do the Warriors through Reece Walsh. who stops him. A great tackle by the Warriors fullback to earn his side a goal line dropout.
Now, gee, that was clever play there. The chip over the top. They saw that Laurie was up in the line. Had to turn around and get on his bike. A good chase through. And there's the tackle made by Reece Walsh. Fullback on fullback. It was good heads-up play that time. They get forced the first line dropout. The Warriors will be confident.
It's a great matchup between those two tonight, isn't it? Laurie and also Walsh is Egan on his bike going backwards here. Hands it off to Fanua Blake to bring it forward, and they begin again in attack. 35 out from the Tigers line. Egan, flat ball here for Nikarima. Into a hole, Katoa. Pouring onto it. Good tackle, stops him though. Seyfarth was there, so was Gildart. 6 again is the call. Curran going to Lodge, who puts it down. It's a knock-on for the Warriors on play 1.
Well, that's a little bit better there. If you're near enough, you're close enough. Leilua comes in, third man in, and hits Lodge. The ball goes loose on the ground. A lot of times when you're struggling, you don't go in to make the contact. You try and get back to 10 metres. That was good play there by Luciano Leilua. He forces the ball free. There's the first opportunity gone begging for the Warriors.
A little bit of a boost as well for the home side. The Tigers setting their own line on back-to-back sets, including a set restart there as Norfoluma. Here's the Rock on the right wing. He's been there for a long time now for the Tigers. As Leilua takes a nice carry here to bring it back within 15 of the halfway line. It's Tamou, runs towards Curran. Rogers also there, as is Fanua Blake, who tries to slow things down, but Little very quickly finds Offa Hengawi. Very fit at the moment, does Joe Offa Hengawi. As long as we've seen him in the NRL for some time, I'd suggest. 6 more tackles coming up here for the Tigers. Restart, Little, away to Brooks. Seyfarth on his hip. Good tackle though, stopping him. Driving in was Jesse Arthurs underneath. From Little, it goes to Brooks. To Ikamanu. Runs towards Curran. Across the line last week against the Knights, the big front rower, only to be denied by the bunker. Ball back on the inside from Madden. Tamou! He goes straight through them. Walsh tried to hold him up. Tamou thinks he scored. So does the referee. The Tigers on top early here at Campbelltown.
Well, that's the problem with the Warriors' defence once they have to defend back-to-back. But that's great play from James Tamou. His skipper in the Tigers tonight. He had to come out with a big one. The ball back on the inside. Once he got on over the top there of Reece Walsh, slams the footy down, showed his strength. And coming across, just trying to close the gate there in Curran. He goes low. Look at the power of this bloke. Just skips out of a tackle, pushes away, spins around, shows great strength to get the ball down. And that's a good first up effort there from James Tamou. The Tigers are in.
He's trying to stay calm. It's bubbling to the surface though for Michael Maguire, given everything that he has been through in, well, not just recent weeks, recent seasons. Here he is watching on here, skipper. On the front foot immediately and gets them on the board to lead 4 points to 0, and from pretty much right in front, it's Luke Brooks who'll be doing the kicking tonight in this reshuffled Tigers lineup, and they should lead 6 points to 0.
I'll tell you what they've done. Jacob Little, I said he'd make a difference. They're really slow to adjust through the middle of the ruck, aren't they, the Warriors? And he's just exploded out of dummy half a couple of times. Here's a conversion.
No mistake from Brooks. The Tigers on top. Just on 8 minutes gone, they lead 6 points to 0, Matt.
James Tamou scores his first try since he scored against guess who? The Warriors last season. This will please you, Blocky. You challenge James Tamou pre-game. Lead by example. He scores the first try of the game. Spare a thought for the opposition front rower. It was the Matt Lodge error that invited West Tigers upfield. Rough week for Matt, given that last week he suffered from dehydration, tried to stave off a virus, couldn't play 20 minutes, became dehydrated and ended up on a drip administered by ambulance officials. Rough start again for Lodge.
They were concerned about him in the dressing rooms after the game last week. The Warriors up there on the Gold Coast. They said he overheated, and you know how dangerous that can be. And it's the Tigers in front here early against the Warriors in this desperate game between two teams who are both 0-2. Little comes across to offer Hengawi. Tamou once again running towards Ewan Aitken. Egan is also thereabouts. They're 20 short of the halfway line. The metres have come pretty easily for the Tigers in these first few sets from their own end. Another good carry here from Leilua, backing up his earlier nice run as Madden kicks through the line. Walsh, terrific work there, tracking across field, got to it on the full and saved the Warriors plenty of metres.
Yeah, geez, it helps when James Tamou started the game so well with his running game, and on the back of that, once he gets his nose through, Leilua has been strong too, so going back to back with their runs, just straight after Tamou makes a run, Leilua is the next runner. They've started well, the Tigers.
Fairly compressed defensive line from the Tigers while the Warriors are working it away from their own end. Now they regain a little more width, but it's helping them really limit those metres on the early plays as Curran, a bit of width now from the Warriors. Walsh up against Garner, gives it off to Berry. Garner does well, playing very wide tonight, the big man. Speed, a bit of mobility as well that he has. And it's all hands too for Michael Maguire and the Tigers tonight, with Garner doing well on that occasion against Berry. High ball here, taken by Starfatoa, and the Tigers begin at their own 10.
You know, the great thing about their efforts so far early in this game, they're 5 from 5. If I don't put the mock on them, it's a good start here.
Completing sets, certainly an issue last week against the Knights. There's a great catch, having mentioned, of course, that Ken Mamalo, Norfoluma and also Laurie had their issues under the high ball last week against Newcastle. We're just outside the 30. Leilua from dummy half beats Berry, still going. Picks up 10 metres as a result. And here for Little. Brooks from just outside the 40 goes to the air. Coming forward, a bit of a restart there. Pompey looked at it, thought it might have been catch there for Reece Walsh. Instead, Walsh said, no, it's all yours. And Pompey was to do his word as he plays it there as Arthurs. Takes it just beyond the 30. Walsh from dummy half. Come across to Harris to there. Here is Montoya coming in off the wing for a carry while Aitken grabs a breather out there on the extremity on that left-hand side of the field. Lodge now, minimal gain once again. Tamou was there to meet him, so was Little. And now Egan for Fanua Blake out the back. Nicarima, Walsh, some room to move here. Arthurs, he comes across to Pompey, steps inside Brooks, runs towards Seyfarth. The Warriors thought there might have been a bit of a slapping high tackle, not called by the referee, and it's play on. Last tackle just outside the 20. Nicarima, he comes across here to Harris DeVita. Kicks towards the corner. Norfoluma backpedaling under massive pressure. Ball goes to ground. Cleaned up by Aitken. The Warriors have points off the back of a Tigers error.
Yeah, they got him on the back pedal that time. The crossfield kick, it was perfectly weighted after the Warriors had made a half a break down the right-hand side of the field. They go 2-pass runner, then the kick. Poor old Norfoluma was backpedaling. Perfectly weighted kick. Their kicking game's been good to start the game, the Warriors. Out jumped, ball goes back. Aitken right there on the spot. And just like that, the one mistake there from the Tigers at the back end of the field. Just couldn't compete for the ball, Norfoluma. Aitken right on the spot, and the Warriors hit back.
Well, I mentioned the issues they had last week and the heavy loss to the Newcastle Knights. So they've plagued them once again here early on. Norfoluma there, flat-footed. Admittedly, the kick from Harris DeVita was an absolute beauty as far as the weight. Just far enough in behind Norfoluma that he had to backtrack. And he chose to go back on his heels as opposed to maybe turning sideways, half sideways, and looking over one shoulder to maybe give him a bit more momentum in a leap for the ball.
Always hard to take those real perfectly timed crossfield kicks, especially if you're running backwards to try and take it. Just out jump there. Ball was knocked back. Well done there by Montoya. As we said, Aitken there to clean up. And a good opening of the game. Both sides playing well. Talking about 6 from 6 from the Tigers. Well, the Warriors are 6 from 7, so good start. Mistakes haven't crept in yet.
The one mistake was the ball put down by Lodge, which eventually ended up at the other end with Tamou scoring for the Tigers. Walsh, over the course of his career, 24 of 33 for just on 3 out of 4 success rate, 73% to be exact. And the Warriors fans right in mode with Reece Walsh here from the western side of Campbelltown Stadium. I don't know what it was, Blocker, but it certainly helped Reece Walsh, just flowing through the ball, the kicker and the fans tonight. Watch this again as getting over the top of him. A little touch there from Montoya. Backwards was the call. That was okay. And Aitken there to clean up the crumbs. And then, I'm talking about, is that David Kidwell in Warriors gear? It looks a bit like Kiddy, doesn't it?
Beautifully struck that kick, wasn't it? Perfect.
Terrific kick by Reece Walsh. And as expected, nothing between these two teams here tonight. Lodge to play it. 15 out from his own side. Might have been saying under his breath there, that fan, "Let's gone Warriors," the famous Warriors saying.
Well, they've got to keep their nerve here, the Tigers. We've seen them fall on the heap in the first 2 rounds after they've made a mistake. Got to get that out of their head now. Get themselves back in with some solid defence.
Curran playing it, comes across here to Nicarima, who'll drive it end behind, and also Laurie, who will clean up at his own 10. Looks up, slips over. There's a good chase line across the field from the Warriors there. Plenty of white and blue jerseys right across the 20-metre line as Laurie looked up and eventually ended up in the seat of his pants. The former Newcastle Knight playing it here. Gildart monstered by Nicarima, who jumps out of dummy half. The 3rd man in 3 games to wear the 7 for the Warriors. Sean Johnson, of course, out of action for the moment. Might be back potentially next week, or if not the week after. Ash Taylor out of action this week with a hip problem. Suffered last week against his old club, the Gold Coast Titans. And now it's Nicarima in the halfback role tonight. As Little from dummy half tries to find the turf. He'll pick out Walsh again on the full. And having had a chat with Billy Slater, he'll take a leaf out of his book and bring it back at speed here as he plays it just inside his own 30.
Yeah, you've got to try and find a way, as I said before the game, to kick away from Walsh. If you kick on the full to him, he eats up that yardage so quickly. He made 20 metres upfield already. 0 tackle.
Nathan Brown off the back of that loss last week against the Titans says we have a talented young pack, but they have to realise and understand the consequences of not getting it right. For the moment, trail 6 points to 0 tonight, but they've hit back straight away. Resolve shown there already as Curran takes it down just outside the 20. He'll play it here on the last. Nicarima will kick out towards Pompey, and Arthurs flying for it. Again, he's a safe pair of hands. A bit of confidence in the heart of Michael Maguire as he watches his team. He's got a good catcher on this left wing tonight after Ken Mamalul had his issues in that same role last week. Safer. Brings it beyond the 20. Tigers still to make a mistake. 7 from 7. See if that mention puts the moz on them right here. Take it forward through Laurie. Goes to Offahengawi. Now Madden. Goes to Garner, standing in the tackle, wrapping it around the back. Madden's there again. Good tackle. Aristotavita, wrapping effort. Is able to hit and stick and stop him in a hurry. Brooks puts it in the air. It'll go down towards Walsh again, shading that left-hand side of the field, and he'll play it here just outside the Warriors 20.
You just have a look at the Warriors at the moment. They'll have to make a couple of changes. A few of their players look pretty gassed. A lot of hands on hips. On the 30-metre line, just getting behind the ball now.
Just on 17, the minutes gone. 6 apiece at Campbelltown. Justin Morgan riding shotgun with Nathan Brown in the Warriors coach's box. Curran. Solid tackle there by Little and also Offahengawi. And then Uta Ikamanu gets involved to make sure he hits the deck. Egan out of dummy half. Nicarima. Looking to see a bit of a gap there in behind the play of the ball. But the Tigers markers did well. Warriors with one more in this set from 35 away. Goes back to Harris Davida. Hoping to bring this kick down in the field of play. It's a metre at least too deep. Norfoluma does well, brings it back at speed for the tap restart. And there'll be a whistle because
players in front.
There's a problem. There was a tiger in front of the red line is the call.
You just got to make the effort. You know, Norfoluma, if he gets the ball in that sort of situation, he's going to sprint up to the 20 and get started. You've got to get behind the line there so he can go with that quick restart.
Here is Stafford almost away here for the Tigers and plays it quickly, and Little finds Madden bringing it back towards the halfway line. Don't forget, after this, we're off to Accor Stadium. It's the Rabbitohs, their first home appearance of the season, up against the Roosters. What a game that will be. The old rivals. Boy, there was a forward pass missed there from dummy half from Little. Let's play on for the Tigers as Leilua has it just outside the 30. Bit of a break there early on for West. Madden through to Ikamanu. Brooks, Tamou. Good tackle. Toe was in there with Vanua Blake. And now Brooks, who's a bit of space, takes them on. That was play 5. They've got one more here. Madden wrapping to the short side. Finds Laurie. The timing on the play wasn't quite there. Brooks, Brubbers, wants it to sit down up against the dead ball line. Big Luch. Luciano Leilua thinks he has scored. The referee, without referral, believes the ball was planted down at least on the dead ball line.
Well, they've got to have a look at it, haven't they? Unless the ref's made. He gets there first to the ball. He's knocked it on anyway. Has he on the way down?
Oh, did he? I don't know. It looked very close watching it live, and that certainly had to be looked at.
Well, the fans are blowing up too, and rightfully so. You had to have a look at that. Referee's made a decision.
Right hand in contact with the ball and his fingers on the ball, it looks like, as he brings it down. Boy, there's a moment that we talked about beyond full-time here tonight, depending on how this one plays out. Leilua was very confident. He had a case to press. The referee, with the help of the sideline officials, said it's play on a Warriors restart. Now here they are on the attack as Harris Davida goes to the line off the shoulder there of Rocco Berry. So it doesn't cost Tigers points at the other end of the field, because that could well have been a 12-point turnaround potentially. Watch this again. It's a close call, but he gets his hand on the ball. That angle there not as convincing as the sideline. This one here from side on. Hand on the ball. Boy, fingers there on the ball as he brings it down. That angle there, I'm saying green lights.
I'm with you. I think it's a try. And he had it all to do too. Reece Walsh's boot was right there. He had to beat that. And he got up and celebrated like he scored. I reckon there was enough downward pressure there.
Okay, ball in. Stay in.
Given how often we refer things to the bunker, and how close that was, it's stunning that it wasn't referred in the first place. The bunker could have jumped in and said, hey, just before you restart here at the 20, let's take a look at that, given how many stoppages we do have in the game as it stands. James Tamou from the field. Good first up effort. Scores the try that gave them the 6-0 lead. Now they get a penalty, and Brooks, big meters here, and the Tigers on the attack from the 35.
Yeah, I think that's in the plan of the Tigers too. Just play that up-tempo game against the Warriors. Be a little bit loose every now and again around the middle. He started well too, little out of dummy half. He's got that little bit of spark, that one-handed pickup. Gets his forwards onto the ball well.
Here we are. Work at it. Hold.
Ikamanu will play it here. Comes across Tyrone Peachey's out there now from Madden to Seyfarth, who was into half the gap.
Okay. We've got a Warriors.
It looked promising for the Tigers again on this left-hand side, but it was knocked on by Seyfarth. Is there a touch there by the Warriors? Now the Tigers going to hang on to it. Problem here for Eli Katoa, who's been opened up.
It's good to see him going on both sides of the ruck too. That might have come off Nikarima, I think. Does it come off his arm? Yep.
Yes, it does. So that was the on-field call. Tigers will hang on to possession, but there's some treatment needed for Eli Katoa, who, apart from the knock to the eye, may well have an issue as far as the HIA is concerned. The independent doctor in the bunker able to jump in now and say, given what we've seen, that needs to be looked at. Well, we've got a moment, blocker. With Katoa still seeing treatment for that cut on the nose and a knock to the eye. Maybe the eye is as much an issue as the cut on the bridge. Watch this again. Hand on the ball. It never comes away from his hand once he makes contact with it. And I think at least his index finger, if not his middle finger, in contact with the ball the whole way to the turf. Yeah,
the bunker are claiming it's a knock on. I didn't see any separation there. As you said, the fingers were still on the ball. Katoa leaving the field now. A bit of a nick on his eye or his nose. It's a little bit of a break too for the Warriors. Good place to attack for the Tigers now. They're just lining up here by the look of it on the left-hand side, right in the middle of the park. See what they can come away with.
Katoa goes off, replaced by Bailey Sirinen. Mixed emotions once again, no doubt, blocking in your good mate Paul Sirinen's household tonight. As off the back of the scrum, the Tigers go left. 3-on-3 here. In fact, the Warriors might have had a numerical advantage defensively. High contact, though, on Dane Laurie is the call from Cody Nikorima. And the Tigers from beside the uprights had the option here of taking the 2. Instead, they'll try and score at least 4, if not 6. They'll back themselves. Plant it down beyond the line in this set. Little goes wide. Here is Madden, finds Brooks on his outside. Leilua back against the grain, but well handled by Aitken and also Lodge. Little again, back to the post they come. Peachy hands it off for Uta Ikamanu. Good tackle downstairs. Sirinen was there to meet him on this right edge now in place of Katoa. It's Brooks out the back. Leilua met in a solid tackle there. Montoya getting up in his face, stopping him in a hurry, but Leilua dumps it out the back for Brooks. Still a couple of tackles left in this set. It's Madden now. Here's Laurie. Oh, intercept. He never looked to his outside to see what the defence was doing, and the ball came across the field so slowly that Arthurs was up there in the Tigers' faces. Yeah, right in the line there of the Tigers trying to attack. I think what they've got to do with Leilua is get the close support off him. He's standing there in tackles, ready to offload the ball. There's no one there. He's got to throw the ball back. Got to need close support. Laurie's the man to get on his shorts. Here is Lodge. That was the Tigers' first error. 12 of 13. A solid opening to the game. Curran ends up with the ball, but the pass was forward. You hear the calls through our effect microphones. The Tigers certainly on the bench here on the sideline at Campbelltown. Warriors put it over pretty simply once again for Nua Blake with the tip on. You would argue with that one. And that one's gone forward for Nua Blake. Trying to mix up his game a little bit, but geez, his late footwork at the line is the thing that really upsets teams. And they pass him before the line. Maybe you can do that later on in the halves. But he's a power runner. He needs to run the ball. I reckon the message will go out to the captain there. Stefano Ikamanu at the moment is our VB hard-earned index player of this first half through just over 24 minutes gone at Campbelltown as Offa Hengawi takes it forward and right on cue, having the VB hard-earned index title in his back pocket. Well, Utu Ikamanu takes a break. Utu Ikamanu, he only ran for, I think it was about 46 metres last week. He's already run for 71, so good effort from the young fella. Need to do it week in and week out. Problem back behind the plate here for a hand injury, it looks like, for Offa Hengawi. Tigers going wide. Again, the Warriors up very quickly. There's a real problem here, either a wrist or a forearm potentially, it looks like, for Offa Hengawi. It's play on, well, now it's not. They will blow it up with Offa Hengawi midfield and right in the firing line here on the next possible play, so we will have a stoppage. Remember last season he did have
plenty of problems with his wrist during the season. And that looks like forearm or wrist or elbow.
See, once again, here he is in this carry. He's got wedged there in between both Fanua Blake and Curran. And that looked to be where the damage was done.
He just got jammed in there, didn't it, by the look of it? Got up and played the ball and then went back down on his haunches. Both sides will be liking this. Been a bit of a frantic pace early in the game. A couple of stoppages now.
Stay on the field for the moment, but unconvincingly. He's almost trying to pull his hand there to maybe, it looked like trying to get his wrist back into place. Concerned coach watching on quite obviously at the moment. Looks like Offahengawi will come from the field. I guess no great surprise there, but given they are short-staffed tonight with a reshuffled back line with Garner playing out there in the centres. Well, is he going to come from the field? It's quite a stoppage in the end. Offahengawi says, no, I'm okay, I'll bat on for the time being.
Yeah, they would have lost their whole middle. Both front rows are off at the moment. Offahengawi gone off there. Would have been very light on. Bit of courage to stay out there. Teammates will appreciate that.
Zane Musgrove is out there. Down low there on Matt Lodge to make that particular tackle. Walsh trying to use his speed. Straightens, he runs towards Seyfarth. There's a little fitness test for that wrist of Offahengawi. Past that one, flying colours. Curran, though, now going nowhere. And the Warriors, minimal metres here and back-to-back plays. Good stop on the inside there. Offahengawi just drilling into the ribs of Reece Walsh. 25 metres out here. Last play, it's Nikarima. Will put it in the air, coming forward. Or Laurie mistimed it badly. It ends up with Adam Pompey. Their nightmares under the high ball continue for the Tigers. Pompey scores for the Warriors, and they take the lead for the first time in the game.
Yeah, 2 tries off kicks. The first one, the crossfield kick that Norfoluma couldn't handle. This time, just looking like he mistimed it, Dane Laurie. Come through, he jumped a little bit early. Ball comes down. Didn't really have to compete for the footy there, Pompey. And he gets the try. Look, here's the early jump. Just mistimed it. Pompey gets the footy and sprints away. 2 tries off kicks. They've got to keep hanging in there now, the Tigers. Back-to-back tries there for this Warriors team.
Well, we saw the celebrations in the coach's box of the Warriors, in the West Tigers box. I think Michael Maguire would have slumped to the floor, potentially, given their issues last week. And again here tonight, 2 kicks by the Warriors for 2 tries to this point. They lead 10-6.
Well, the worst thing about that one, that try, you really didn't have to compete for the footy. As I said, Laurie just mistimed the jump. He didn't have enough Tigers around him to help him out. 2 pretty simple tries to the Warriors in the first half so far, after a good start from the Tigers.
They conceded some soft ones to the Knights last week. It's killing the Tigers again here this evening. Walsh, about 10 metres to the right-hand side of the post. As we approach the half-hour mark here at Campbelltown in game 1 of 2 live on Fox League this evening. Walsh try and converts. He brings it back over the black dots, and the Warriors lead the Tigers 12-6. Laurie was very late in getting there. It was a long way from the point where the ball was actually going to come down. It was a conventional kick. It wasn't a swirling, spiralling torpedo by any stretch from Nikarima there, and Pompey, who was really, I think, looking to maybe just be a presence as opposed to an actual catcher, trying to put Laurie off as much as anything. Couldn't believe the ball ended up in his hands.
Well, we saw Stafford Toa, who's just come into that first grade side this week. Took a couple of good crossfield kicks early. Looked like Laurie had called for the footy back at fullback, running through, so Tamou didn't even attempt to take that bomb. Let's hope they don't fall on a heap now.
Here's Aiken to work it away. As we said, the first of 2 games tonight. After this one, we'll take you to Accor Stadium. Rabbitohs are 0-2 to begin the season. Their first season without Adam Reynolds. And guess who they run into tonight? The Roosters, no less. That will be an absolute blockbuster. Live right here on Fox League as the Warriors bring it back. And they'll get a penalty as well. Egan does nicely here for his team. Ends up in a situation where the Tigers have been penalised for a crusher.
He's a clever player, Wade Egan. He's got a great nose of knowing when markers are down or opposition teams are a little bit loose around the middle. Might be for a high tackle.
And captain.
You're not going to go and report for that, I hope. Just a lazy arm over the top.
You happy, Matty?
I thought it was off of Ngawi, who fell over and literally fell over the top to end up in the situation he did. It wasn't a classic crusher tackle by any stretch.
The tackle's on report, and that's all it is. It's on report.
But what part of the tackle's on report? That's the thing.
Seyfarth, I don't know that he touched the head there of Wade Egan. It was just the effort of Offa Hengawi actually falling over as he got cleaned up himself. The tackle came towards him, ended up making contact with Egan's head. Egan is back on his feet and he's okay. There'll be nothing to worry about as far as the Tigers are concerned from that particular tackle. Egan from dummy half. It goes to Harris to Vita. Head fake and a step off the left foot. The Tigers not falling for it. Good effort by Peachy and Leilua. Now Walsh goes out the back. Berry met a solid tackle, being driven back some 10 to 12 metres north of Luma. One of the chief men involved there. It's Montoya from dummy half. Comes to Harris to Vita. Egan. He'll find Nicarima. Out wide as he can do at times for Newell Blake. On his right-hand side, but going nowhere in a hurry there. Now Egan, flat back to Curran, shows a dummy, back to Egan. He touched it and knocked it on.
Well, that's what I've been waiting for. Curran has been so good in the early rounds, offloading the football, goes to the line. The pass back on the inside. It should have been swallowed, that one from Egan. Just threw an arm out. Another knock on from the Warriors. Could very nearly have been a try under the posts there.
And testing out that honesty of the little third defence for the Tigers, but they've held on again. Many times they've cracked, as we mentioned. A couple of kicks rather that have been put down by the Tigers. Seyfarth works it away. Warren Smith along with Steve Blocker-Roach and Matt Russell on the sideline to bring you this first of the doubleheader tonight live on Fox League. Rabbitohs and Roosters beyond this. Yeah, it's a great night to be at home here in Sydney. It's been a rainy, overcast day once again. It's been that way for about 48 years, it feels like, Blocker in Sydney. Clear at the moment, though, here in the southwest. How good is that? Beachy works it away. Tomorrow you and I will be up there. Central table lands at Bathurst. Can't wait for that one between the Panthers and the Knights.
We'll find out if the Knights are the real deal tomorrow, won't we? A couple of players out. There's a knock on from Little. There's a good little bust out of dummy half. 15 metres upfield.
And you can't challenge offside. You can't challenge offside. Knock on here. Where do you want the scrum?
There again, Little trying to plant it down while he was still on his haunches. A little bobble there as the call against the hooker. Eli Katoa back on the sideline for the moment for the Warriors. Just on the exercise bike. Still that towel on the right eye, which looks as though he didn't quite pick up in the replay whether he copped an accidental poke there from a teammate, but well, you can see it's closed, or half closed at least.
The Warren, the good news is he has passed his HIA, so despite that facial injury, he's free to return while you're talking about Super Saturday after your Bathurst game tomorrow. Melbourne hosting Parramatta, and good news for the Storm today. Brandon Smith able to play hooker, and don't they need him after the COVID issues they've had this week.
Well, the number 9s have been going down like flies, Matt, haven't they, for the Melbourne Storm in the past couple of weeks. It's big news for them that Smith is back. The cheese is back on the menu. Here's Walsh playing for Egan. Short side now, Nicarima at the line. A bit of a staggered line with Dane Laurie hedging his bets, and Nicarima took them on as a result. 10 away. Go to Walsh. Bypasses Curran, finds Harris to Vita. Berry up against Garner. He's done well again. Not an awkward-looking tackle. Wasn't a classic with the wrong shoulder, but it was effective all the same. Now Harris to Vita. A kick or interference. And play the ball here from Garner, who made contact with the ball and trying to regain his feet.
He's done well, hasn't he, Garner? Not normally a centre or a back rower, but just gets mixed up in the play the ball there. It's nearly, well, it's accidental, but a penalty, you've got to try and clear the ruck a little bit better than that. We'll have a look at now the Warriors' mindset. What will they get up to here?
They're going to have a try and
once he affects play,
crack at the 2.
We have no other option, mate. I'd rule the same the other way. Mate, I mean, yeah, he's run 10 there, so he's no longer offside. He's run 10 metres.
So before the mistake in the play the ball by Jacob Little, Luke Brooks thought the Warriors were offside, but as they'd gone the 10, it was play on instead. Now the Warriors will, through Reece Walsh, try and add 2 points here. Not sure exactly what's happening. Reece Walsh has been kicking, and here he is in the middle of the field, just wandering around, having a drink and having a chat to his teammates.
Luke Brooks still up after the referee.
Down play, but on your 10 metres, I just need Joe to work a little bit harder with us. Thanks, mate.
Tigers just lost a little bit of momentum when they've got the ball after their big men who started so well have left the field.
Well, he has struck them well so far here tonight, has Reece Walsh. One from the sideline in particular, with the old Juju being supplied by the Warriors fan down there near the fence. No doubt he'll be in mode once again. We're about 12 in on the eastern touchline. The early evening here at Campbelltown. Well, it feels like a must-win game already. It's only round 3. Both these sides winless coming into tonight's affair. And Walsh just outside the 20 to make this an 8-point lead for the Warriors. The strike is good again. He bends it back with a bit of draw. And the Warriors lead the Tigers 14-6 here live on Fox League.
Blocker, a question for you. Here we are, the Tigers under pressure, winless this season, leading tonight 6-0, now facing scoreboard pressure down 14-6. How big the next 5.5 minutes for Michael Maguire and the Tigers to wrestle back some authority, to make a statement, to show some resilience in the back end of this first half?
Well, as I said, I thought they lost a little bit of momentum when their big men went off. James Tamou there on camera, just about to come back on, but it's been a pretty big effort here in the first half. Only missed 5 tackles. And they've hit pretty hard. It's been a much improved performance here so far from the Tigers.
There's a foul play for the Warriors. Strong carry. Good impact, though, from the Tigers' defence to meet him inside the 20. As they play it there through Aitken. Curran on the inside. Katoa is back on deck, having passed, as Matt Russell told us, his head injury assessment. Now Curran again. One of the most improved players, undoubtedly, in the NRL over the past season, with the, well, soon-to-be, again, New Zealand-based outfit when they return for their first home game on July 3. It'll be against this club, the West Tigers. What an occasion that will be at Mount Smart Stadium when the Warriors finally get home after it'll be almost 2.5 seasons. Norfoluma going sideways here, in all sorts of trouble. Gets to ground eventually, tackled by Luke Garner. Does that go on the tackle count for the edge forward? Well, come centre tonight.
That's all about getting in and assisting your teammate there. Norfoluma, very strong player, always got the ability to stay in field.
Spread from the Tigers under pressure here. Toa does well. He's away. Gives it to Gildart. Down the sideline. Runs to Walsh. He slips over and the fullback will stop him inside the Warriors 40. They took a chance inside their own 20 and picked up 50 metres as a result. Peachy wants players to go underneath him. Leilua keeps it going though. Here's Garner, double pumps it, takes the tackle. Harris Tavita there to meet him. The Tigers at the 20. Here's Madden looking up, nobody pushing up in support. Brooks gets going now, runs towards Nicarima. One more for Wes, 15 metres out. Little comes back to Madden, who will kick across the field. Chance out wide. Norfoluma on the charge, went up above them. It went backwards. Laurie gave it off. Musgrove is there. Musgrove dives in for the Tigers. Tries off kicks tonight. They are coming thick and fast.
Well, I'll tell you what, that was enterprising play there from the Tigers. Only a few minutes out before half-time. They spread the ball over that right-hand side, then straight back to the left. A good, clean break made. He did well too, Gildart, to keep the ball and not try and force the issue. And then the bomb there from Madden. A good chase through, competed for the footy. The ball back on the inside there to Laurie. Onto the big fellow in Musgrove. And the Tigers, that's a good effort, right on the stroke of half-time score.
There is something to check here. A little bobble there from Norfoluma in the contest with Berry. And the bunker might want one more look at this. Oh boy, it went off the left hand of Norfoluma. Was it into his own right hand or into a Warrior, which would constitute a knock-on? If it's all clear as far as that first contest is concerned, Musgrove plants it down, no doubt about that. But the initial leap might want another look.
Well, that was good enterprising play there from the Tigers. Didn't go into their shell. As I said, only a couple of minutes before half-time. And he really spread the defence of the Warriors. And at the end of the day, good catch and pass by Laurie after Norfoluma had caught the bomb. Musgrave right on the spot to score.
Try confirmed by the bunker. They're happy with that contest between Norfoluma and Berry, and from almost right in front, Luke Brooks puts it over the black dot. It's 14 points to 12. 3 of the 4 tries scored here tonight coming off kicks. Watch this again. Norfoluma a long way in from the wing. It was his right hand, backwards off it onto Laurie, who had the presence of mind to realise Musgrove was there, steaming through the middle. And Michael Maguire watching on, shifting nervously, hoping to see the green lights. He got them eventually. Downstairs to you, Matt.
Yeah, the chin poking out a little bit of satisfaction there from the coach. His side was under pressure. They didn't go into their shells. They shifted the ball. As a result, later in the set, a try to show for it. Multicultural round. We're celebrating that in the NRL this weekend, and with good reason. More than 160 of the players have at least one parent born overseas. Both of these sides playing in special multicultural jerseys this evening. Well worth celebrating, Warren.
Absolutely, especially in this part of the world, no doubt. It's multicultural nature in the southwestern suburbs of Sydney, and the Tigers are doing them proud here tonight so far, trailing by just the 2 points with barely a minute left before half-time as Peachy comes out to Brooks. Here they go again. More space again. Gildart's away. He runs towards Walsh. Throws a dummy. Still going. He beat Nicarima. Turns Walsh inside out. Toa. A juggle. He can't put it down. A desperate last-ditch tackle by Reece Walsh saves the day for the Warriors.
Well, Gildart really carving him up here on the left-hand side for the Tigers. Got some space. Just look at the way he straightens up, throws the dummy, then the flick out the back. It's a great pass. Just somehow just reloads again, Walsh, because he was caught in field. The juggle of the footy. Look at that for a tackle from a young fella. A little bit of bad luck. They've kept playing the Tigers, but just on half-time.
Boy, if he had a beard, there would have been knives shooting out of his knuckles there. He looked like an X-Man, didn't he, Michael Maguire? He's a big unit still, is Madge, and he thought they were in to take the lead just before half-time, but the pass was just behind To'a. In the end, it's the Warriors who will take a lead into the break here on Friday Night Footy on Fox League. They lead the Tigers 14 points to 12.
He did so well. They needed a leader. We talked about it before the game. The most experienced player for the Tigers led the way early.
We are back underway. Madden with the kickoff. It'll go down here to Harris DeVita, and Matt Lodge brings it back, runs it. Luciano lay lure, but again, there's a bit of starch about this Tigers defence here tonight. They were good there on the restart as Aitken brings it back to the middle of the park. He'll play it just outside the Warriors 20. Egan goes to Montefiore, has got the locks well contained to begin this second half. 3 tackles gone as Lodge off the left foot. Second carry here, making up for lost time last week after being ill on the Gold Coast and playing just the opening 20 minutes. Egan has been probing out a dummy half. Good carry there once again. Now Walsh puts it in the air to test out this back three of the Tigers. Laurie, who was beaten to a ball badly in the first half when Adam Pompey scored to give the Warriors the lead for the first time in the game. Oh, nice catch though on the first one, Laurie.
You've just got to show the same energy they did at the back end of that first half. The Tigers kept attacking, go into the shell, keep playing. They cut them up on the right-hand side a couple of times, so I reckon they'll be going there a fair bit.
Get their chances towards the back end of the first half. Here they are again, down that left edge this time. Oliver Gildart who'll play it just outside the 30. Goes from Little to Madden, who looked to his right, wants to bob away back towards the corner of the field. Walsh going backwards, hits the deck. And the Tigers have done well from their own end to have the Warriors camped inside their own 10. Montoya. Success again for the Tigers, Stephen, down that left edge after spreading the ball inside their own 20 a number of times in the last 5 minutes for 2 results.
Yeah, well, they did so well, as you said, the last 5 minutes before half-time. I think we might see a little bit of a high shot here.
Alex Seyfarth, a couple of pleasantries for Chanel Harris DeVita, who stays on the ground after the contact with the Tigers forward. Watch this again as he comes out to be wedged in between Offa Hengawi and Harris DeVita, and having seen that and that sneaky little look there from Harris DeVita,
Yeah, I reckon he's gammon here.
I could understand why Alex Seyfarth wasn't too impressed, and it is going to be play on here with no penalty. That's a good call by the bunker.
Yeah, and well done by the referee too, not to fall into the trap. There's every right to say to players to get up if you haven't been hit.
There was that sneaky little look by Harris DeVita towards the referee before he then hung the head again, trying to sell the fact that he thought he was taken high. Now he kicks just outside the 30, got a very quick standing 8 count behind the line. He was cleared by the Warriors trainer, and now Norfoluma brings it back. Speaking of high shots, there will be a penalty here as Montefiore just hung the arm out on David Norfoluma.
Yeah, he's a trier, isn't he, Norfoluma? 100 miles an hour every time he plays. Loves running the ball from the back end of the field. Runs with purpose, wins his team a penalty.
The game stopped.
A couple of his mates too give him a little pat on the back and a little bit of a clap too. It's a good setup now for the Tigers. They're going for touch. There's just the lazy arm, as you said, from Montefiore.
The doctors asked you to be removed from the field. You have to go.
And the stoppage, as we rejoin the action live here, Chanel Harris DeVita. Well, if he was foxing and rolling the dice trying to get a penalty, the independent doctor in the bunker has said you will have to come from the field for a full HIA. Watch it again. The arms hung over the top there from Offa Hengawi and also Seyfarth. And as a result of staying down, Harris DeVita leaves the Warriors short a playmaker for the next 15 minutes. And there he was standing on the sideline watching again.
Fair call. That's what you get for foxing.
So he eventually, I think reluctantly, goes up the tunnel to head to the dressing room for the full HIA. Another talking point to come out of this game.
I reckon he'll pass.
I think he might. Looked pretty good in kicking the ball 2 plays after he stayed down the back end of that previous Warriors set. Here's Offa Hengawi. He's inside the 20. From Little. Comes across now to Leilua. They're all going sideways, so Garner is an easy target here. Wrapped up comfortably by Berry and also Bailey Siranen. Second last play in the set. Brooks to Peachy. Also heading sideways. Madden, Laurie on to Gilda. Good tackle there. Has telegraphed the Tigers on both sides of the field there and back-to-back plays. Now it's the last. Poor pass. Went back to Little, so the kick in here. Oh, juggling Walsh. Knocked it backwards. He hung on to it. Now Montoya doing some light stepping away from his own end. Watch this again as the kick touched there backwards, certainly with the right hand and toward his own goal line. No problem there for Reece Walsh. Might have had his heart in his mouth for a moment there as Matt Lodge brings it back beyond the 30.
See, there lays the problem there for the Tigers. The good sides don't give you that sort of yardage. Reece Walsh took the ball on the goal line. 2 tackles are up over the 30.
Nicarima. Spiralling torpedo, pretty good kick at that, but Toa has very good hands. Here he is, just sauntering back, trying to sum up what's in front of him, and in the end he takes the tackle of Wade Egan and also Jazz Tavunga, who's on deck now for the Warriors.
Right back, Rocco. Move, Jazz.
No change as yet to our half-time scoreline through 5 minutes here. Compass and play the ball from Dane Laurie. Fell over in doing so, and we've seen that pulled up plenty of times in the last year and a bit. Brooks at the line. He had Seyfarth on his outside. He took them on, though, for the second or third time in the game. That's promising signs from the halfback. Seyfarth comes to Laurie. A switch now. Goes back to Peachy. He'll come out the back for Madden. Leilua trying for a little in and away. A shuffling effort on Siren and Garner. Back against the angle. He'll play it. 25 metres out. Goes through Madden. Comes to Brooks. He'll kick away on his left-hand side out towards Stafford Toa. Going up above them all, though. Easy catch made by Adam Pompey. And they'll play it here inside their own 20.
It'll be interesting to see at the back end of this game how the Warriors handle the Tigers just moving that ball. Here's some great defence here. It's exactly what needed early in the tackle count. You've got to try and keep him down here.
Strong effort by Musgrove on Jesse Arthurs on that previous play. Going back some 3 or 4 metres. Midway through the set, Sirinan playing it. Up a little gingerly on that contact. An offload in the tackle by Tavunga. So Curran stepping back towards the middle himself. Offloads a second time in their sets for the Warriors, and Walsh has it just beyond the 40. Quick play the ball. They're winning that battle on the ground at the moment, the Warriors, and as a result, they've got the Tigers back pedaling here. It's from Egan, goes to Nicarima. End over end bomb, down towards Laurie, coming in, trying to run. A bit of an escort there was Stafford Toa. Didn't make contact with the Warrior, which was a good thing for the Tigers. We'll see how the Tigers fare from their own end now after the Warriors certainly showed in the last couple of sets they are winning those collisions at the moment.
Yeah, you just got to try and keep them down there once you've got them pinned on their own line. Far too easy. It's only early in the second half that way that the Warriors have been able to march downfield. He's got to get back behind the ball now and attack him again.
Warren, the Warriors only had 1 offload total in the first half. They had 2 in that most recent set of theirs. The instruction at half-time from the coach, Nathan Brown, he wanted them to be more direct with ball in hand and more decisive defensively.
Here is Madden now, who bombs away. Thank you for that, Matt, as it goes down towards Montoya. Makes the catch just outside his 20. Fends away initially there from Jake Simpkin, who's on deck now for the Tigers. Take a look at this lineup. Simpkin is there. Fresh man on the field. It's put down by Berry, is it, coming in for a carry. And it's put the Warriors under enormous pressure here.
Yeah, that's field position now for the Tigers. Berry coming in for the carry. The back 5, some good solid contact. Well, Simpkin it was. And here's the chance now for the Tigers, 40 metres out. Let's see what they can come away with.
And a couple of moments last week with his hands also Rocco Berry. And hark back to Nathan Brown, who has said beyond that whistle last week when they went down close to the Gold Coast Titans up there on the Gold Coast. He said, we're a talented young team, we've got talented young players, and need to understand, though, the consequences of not getting it right. Berry didn't get it right on that previous play, but they've made up for it. Aaron Penne is out there now and makes an immediate impact and saves the blushes off his left centre. Oh, no, the Warriors have given it straight back, though, with a mistake from dummy half, this time through Nicarima.
Yeah, have a look at that play the ball there from Josh Current. Nicarima rushes in the dummy half.
Let's work it in, guys.
Here's the lost ball by Norfoluma. They've run the 10 metres, so it's play on, no advantage. Curran pulled down in the tackle.
Both coaches will want a drastic improvement on that most recent passage, won't they, gentlemen? I've spoken about Nathan Brown at half-time. Michael Maguire, generally pretty satisfied. He did point out that his side had conceded 2 tries from kicks. They need to be busier and better at diffusing the kicks. He said to his team, stay patient. We want to be physical for the full 80 minutes in this one.
And as we said at the time, depending on how this one turns out, no doubt we'll hear more about that decision by the referee not to refer a very close call near the dead ball line for Luciano Leilua in the 20th minute when it looked as though he had scored.
The Tigers are furious, I can tell you that. They haven't forgotten, and they won't.
They've made another mistake, though, in the meantime. Zane Musgrove this time putting it down. It's not raining yet at Campbelltown. The dropsies plaguing both teams suddenly.
Yeah, it's been very sloppy the last 5 minutes, hasn't it, from both teams? Might have had a little bit of a hand in there from Curran. No stripping action, but on the way down, just punches the ball out.
Michael Maguire with that stoic chin jutting out as always in the coach's box. Beyond this game, stay with us because this is always must-see TV. The Rabbitohs up against the Roosters. 10 years ago, Blocker, I thought you could take me now. I had seen it all. Well, you never really have seen it all when it's the Rabbitohs and the Roosters, have you?
Well, there's always something extra in those games, isn't it? The battle of feuds. It's been going for 100 years, hasn't it?
And then some.
The book is written.
The book, no doubt, got a dusting off this week. Not sure if the Gladiator himself did a reading. Would have been brought up. Of course, the feud at a new chapter off the back of what happened between Latrell Mitchell and Joey Manu last year at the same venue. They'll play at tonight. Here's the situation in the tackle. Garner going low around the hips and then coming down on top. Simpkin.
Yeah, going to put Simpkin on report here.
Awkward-looking tackle there on Marcelo Montoya, Stephen.
Yeah, it was a pretty ordinary looking tackle. Come over the top, the referee stopped the game.
Bad luck, but it's your responsibility, okay? Crushers on report.
So second tackle in the game on report for the Tigers. I don't think they'll have any issue with the first one where Alex Seyfarth, I think, mistakenly was placed on report. Either way, that will earn the wrath of the match review committee. We'll wait and see what they make, though, of that situation there with Simpkin. It gives the Warriors a chance to extend this lead. It's Devunga. We'll play it just outside the Tigers' 20. 2 tries tonight scored by the Warriors have both come from kicks. Penne rumbling forward. Big, strong athlete he is. Egan from dummy half. Comes here. Sirinen back on the inside for Lodge. He was almost able to brush through the tackle of Simpkin. And he's been held up, it looks like, in goal.
Gee, he did well to hang on, and then the troops came. Simpkin is trying to get Lodge on his back. He wants to play on as quick as he can. He knows he hasn't scored.
If there is no grounding, that there is an illegal takeout in that play.
Now, both teams ready to resume action. They're going to have to cool their heels for a moment here because let's take a look and see if there's some interference from the Tigers if Lodge didn't score. Pretty sure he's convinced he didn't, given the speed he came back with. Here's the tackle.
We're just looking at the
Zane
contact
Musgrove
after the pass.
Yeah, I think Bailey Sirinen was hit a little bit late after he'd passed the ball. Musgrove went on with the tackle. Good ball playing there.
There is high contact from Zane Musgrove.
Back on the inside.
We're going to play through and look at the
I think it is a little bit late.
Back-to-back sets. Tigers, I think we'll find first off Simpkin, now Musgrove, be placed on report. If there's any doubt that Lodge was held up here. Good work by Laurie with some help over the top there.
Matt Lodge is held up over the goal line.
Alex
We have a
Seyfarth
decision.
lending his weight to the tackle.
We stopped the game for so long. You see how quickly Lodge gave himself up to say that he didn't score the try, just tried to get on with the play. And 2 minutes down the track, we haven't restarted yet. I
Okay,
think
Luke,
Musgrove will go for a late tackle
result is,
here.
I know he's going to be interchange. Result is penalty on report for Zane's tackle there off the ball after the ball's been passed. Okay, so penalty on report against Zane, held up, no try, so we're going back for this. Thanks, mate.
No complaints from Luke Brooks. Zane Musgrove, he was headed to the sideline. I think he's about to be replaced. He wanted to come off, but not while they're 10 metres out from the line. Didn't want to leave his side down a man. Here is Lodge. They'll play it for Egan. Comes back to this left-hand side. Sirenan to Walsh. Good tackle there on Berry. Garner was there once again. What a job he's done. Rocco Berry here this evening. Walsh showing it. Nobody falling for it. Boy, they hit him with the kitchen sink.
Yeah, well done by Garner there over the top. Great hit.
Might have been the cupboards, the taps, anything else they can get their hands on as well. What a shot that was. Now there's a race towards the corner. It's Pompey. And he digs his heels in, comes away from the sideline. He'll play it 10 metres out. Nikarima for Egan. Back on the inside here for Tavunga. They've got one more play to hang on for the Tigers. Warriors go the short side. Egan, in fact, went from dummy half himself and lost the ball in the tackle. It's going to be another whistle, though.
Doesn't come back 10 metres. Penalty against Dane Laurie.
And it's a penalty against Dane Laurie for being offside.
Yeah, I was just going to mention how they've hung on here again, the Tigers. There's a loose ball there from Egan, but apparently they jumped the gun. Offside, just jumped a little bit too early. And that's a great effort there from the Tigers. Back-to-back sets. They've starved them of a try. They've only scored off 2 kicks, the Warriors. And I think this is what they'll want them to do. Take the shot at goal. I know they'll probably get 2 points, but credit to their defence there.
There's a bit of discussion here as to what's going to happen. Reece Walsh thought he was going to try and take 2 points, make this a 4-point lead. Nathan Brown is wondering what the hell is going on field. And eventually, the decision is going to be, we'll have a shot at penalty goal.
I reckon the Tigers will be wanting to have a shot at the penalty goal here. The back-to-back sets there with their defence. They've scrambled well, got numbers in the tackle. Warriors will take the shot at goal.
There's a bit going on there at the moment, boys. When it comes to Dane Laurie, he wasn't trying to leave the field. He was putting a contact lens back on. The West Tigers doctor had to take a phone out, the only one who's allowed to have a phone, so he could use that to put the contact lens back in. And after that, he was a bit helter-skelter, a bit rattled and conceded this penalty. When it comes to the Warriors, the $1.02 favourite at Campbelltown has saluted. Chanel Harris-DeVita has passed his HIA.
No surprise there. That might have been overs at $1.02. Matty, you're a very generous bookmaker. If you had him at $1.02, he was there was no betting. He was always going to be past fit after foxing for a penalty and then costing him 15 minutes of game time. Whatever the discussion was between this man, Reece Walsh, and others, Wade Egan included, it was Walsh who held sway and said, yes, I'm going to take the 2 here. I'll just edge us away 4 points clear. And Dane Laurie's had a visit from the optometrist. He's okay. Harris-DeVita has passed his HIA. He's all right. We'll be back out there in a moment. We've still got 25 minutes remaining here. Josh Curran is our VB hard-earned index player of the moment. In this second half, he leads Matt Lodge on 52 points, and Alex Seyfarth has had a good game. The Tigers also up there in the mid-40s as well, Matty Russell.
Yeah, Josh Curran, I think you mentioned it earlier on. What about his improvement through 2021? He's looking to go on with it in 2022. Nathan Brown certainly needs him to build on the numbers he's showing us this evening.
Well, it seems like a similar scenario here for the Warriors in both of their first 2 games against the Dragons in round 1 and the Titans last week. They've led it in the second half, only to go on to lose. We'll see if they can avoid making it a hat-trick of losses from the jaws of victory here tonight. Their record against the Tigers has been poor here in Campbelltown for a long time. They've had some hidings at the hands of West over the years. They're on track at the moment. A long time to go in this one before we take you to Wackor Stadium for the Rabbitohs against the Roosters. That's live here tonight. The big double-header on Fox League.
Well, I don't think the Tigers have finished yet. They've made more line breaks in this game than the Warriors. I know they lead 16-12 at the moment, but the Tigers aren't having that much problems breaking up this defensive line of the Warriors. They just need that one try.
Boy, the Warriors will keep bombing away at Dane Laurie. There's no question about that, given he had an issue there once again. It was a pretty good kick, it has to be said, though, but he didn't want to get near that ball, and they took a real chance at coming up with possession when it was allowed to bounce.
It looks like he's rattled after the first half, so good tactics by the Warriors. Just got to get that confidence of attacking that ball on the full. And the Tigers lucky enough to get a penalty there.
He gives away some height quite obviously. Now Uta Ikamanu. Good carry. Played here just outside the 40. Simpkin on report just 5 or so minutes of game time ago. As Brooks gets to dummy half, he comes to Madden. At the back is Laurie. Leilua, a bit of room to move before he made contact there with Harris to Vita. Help in the end from Aitken and also Egan. He's clutching at his side here. Under the right ribs. What about the livery? Slugs back to the ground once again. Uta Ikamanu will play it just inside the 20. Last play. It goes out to Brooks, who grubbers back through the middle. Laurie is there. What speed he has. Has he put it down? Oh my goodness.
He's lost it.
He dropped it over the line.
Uta Ikamanu, it was the play the ball. I was just about to mention how great the play the ball was.
But I also want to make sure.
They were full of running. The ball was there right there for Laurie. Showed great speed to get there, but knocks it on the way down.
Oh, watching this live, I thought he just so nonchalantly planted the ball down at speed. It was a terrific kick. At a set play, he was onside. He timed it beautifully. And he had the jump on everybody. Walsh trying to come back and change angles. I think he makes a clean catch, but in putting it down,
on his way through.
does he plant it down on the foot here of Reece Walsh?
I think what they're saying, he might have been impeded on the run through here.
Oh no, just never gathered it cleanly. He never had it.
Just bounced that fraction too high. It looked like a perfect bounce.
Just going through the grounding now.
Just a little bit too high. It just jumped up. He thought he was in for all money there, Laurie.
And Dane Laurie knocks it on in the in-goal area. We have a decision.
You can't believe they've bombed a chance like that.
Yep.
As skillful as he is, Dane Laurie, a little bit in the motion of trying to put it down before he'd actually taken possession of the ball.
Luciano getting back into the line now. He's pushed away from the trainer. Wants to stay out there. He's been almost the Tigers' best. He's a handful.
There's a lovely touch with the boot by Luke Brooks, who's been, again, a lightning rod for opinion during the lead-up to this game. He's carried the ball tonight to great effect, 4 runs for 31 metres. Should have had a try assist right there, which in all likelihood would have given the Tigers the lead. Now instead, Walsh on the right-hand side, in motion here for the Warriors. He'll play it for Nicarima. Comes through Egan for Nua Blake. Penne. Really stagnant there through the middle of the field, so Penne pays a price. They drive him back to the Tigers' 40. He's now slowly back on his feet. Vanua Blake. No momentum in the set of 6 suddenly. Takes it inside the Tigers' 30, and this will be the last. Egan goes back to Harris DeVita, who bombs away towards Laurie once again. Didn't get there to make a contest of that one. He took a real shot for his trouble, though, from Rocco Berry, and now he's clutching at a hip.
Yeah, he's hurt himself too. Courageous effort to get up and play the ball there. He's gone back down on his haunches.
Lua was down a moment ago as Madden takes a carry for the Tigers. Oh, it's the knee that he caught. See that knee driving him right into the hip there from Rocco Berry.
He's up and about, which is a good thing for the Tigers. He's Got to forget about that bomb try just a little bit earlier. Get on with it. He's a main man for them. Got tremendous speed, anticipation. They need him out there.
Well, they had injuries last week which hampered their effort in the second half against the Knights. Now Ikamanu gets up very slowly from inside the 40. Brooks was thinking 40-20. Montoya brings it back. Uta Ikamanu slumped to the ground again, and he's on one leg. They're in all sorts of trouble here, the Tigers, at the moment. Leilua was down. Laurie went down. Uta Ikamanu bravely trying to stay in the defensive line. He's jaked the peg. Here is Devunga. Back through the middle they go.
Oh, he's gone. Have a look at him. He's going out to the wing.
See if the Warriors are aware of that. They come that way straight away. Harris to Vida. He goes to Vanua Blake. It'll die right there. They put it through the hands. Well, they're still there struggling. Here is Aitken. Uta Ikamanu with his back turned, hopping back on one leg. You've never seen the like of it. Here's Egan from dummy half. He kicks. The Tigers hang on. It is courage personified at the moment from the home side.
And James Tamou back on. The Tigers trying to spread the ball.
Gildart. He's stopped. Leilua is back down, blocker.
He's gone. Have a look at him.
Have you got your boots with you?
No.
You might get a call up before this one is done. We've still got 20 minutes to go.
The game would be over by the time I got down there.
Well, they get a penalty. Brooks will kick for line.
Reece Walsh was furious with that final play from the Warriors. He was numbering up on Uta Ikamanu. They went open, kicked open, and left the crippled Tiger not having to make a tackle.
It was unbelievable, Matt. If they put it through the hands, they score surely, because Uta Ikamanu, he was like he was at the school carnival in the, not even the three-legged race, he was in the sock hop or something. Here is Madden. Comes to Laurie. Now Garner runs towards Rocco Berry. Harris to Vita there also. Quick play the ball though. Norfoluma jumps out, beats Berry at marker. Back to the middle. Brooks will put a kick in behind Pompey. A chance out wide. Chasing through. Toa will force a goal line dropout.
Yeah, I don't mind it. They get the desired result again. Was Garner with the quick play the ball. Brooks' kicking game has been so good here this afternoon. Unfortunately, just a little bit earlier, not to come away with a try off his boot back on the inside to Dane Laurie. This time they had to play at the ball. And are we going to see the Warriors fall in the hole like they have in the last couple of weeks?
Nathan Brown is worried about exactly that scenario. He's on his feet and doing it tough. Buys his My Lanta by the pallet load, does the Warriors coach, with good reason. Comes with the territory. Michael Maguire, he subscribed to the same service, by the way. Might get his by the truckload, Madge. Here is Tamou. Simpkin from dummy half. That was a nice ball to Brooks. Double pumps it, triple pumps it. He had Hingawi there pushing up in support, but they'll play it just outside the 10. Simpkin from dummy half. With the lock forward, who's had a fair stint back on the bench. Off of Hingawi goes forward. He'll play it 5 away. 2 plays left in the set. Simpkin, another good ball for Brooks. Here is a chance. Seyfarth going close. Stopped only a couple of metres out. Last play here. Comes back for Brooks. The kick across the field. Leilua is there. Got a touch on it. Could only knock it forward, though, into the arms of Reece Walsh, who's away. Only Laurie in front of him. He hobbles. Is there a problem there? Was he just trying to put Dane Laurie off? For a moment, I thought he'd done a hammy.
He's done a calf.
He's done something. Something popped. There was no question he had an issue there. Might have been a cramp for Reece Walsh. He's still down behind play. Play on for the Warriors. Comes to Harris to Vita. Here is Tavunga. Nikarima now on the offload. Vanua Blake loitering out there on the right-hand side. Puts it down.
You just tried to do a little bit too much that time for Vanua Blake. Getting caught out wide again. It was some sort of break by Luke Walsh too. Just no one in and around the ball. A little bit of footwork, pushes away. And he's gone. Did well, Garner too.
Blocky must have been cramped for Reece Walsh because he's straight back into his position after a sip on some water. When it comes to the Tigers, they've got problems. They've only got 1 interchange left. At the moment, they've got Peachy, Little, Musgrove on the bench, Uto Ikamanu out of the game with a high ankle sprain. They only have one more interchange to make with the best part of 17 minutes to play.
Wow.
Watching that again, he pulled up like he'd stepped on a piece of Lego, Reece Walsh. In the end, it helped out the Tigers in a big, big way. Just are enjoying the action here. We've got a cracking finish coming up. Warren Smith, Stephen Roach, Matt Russell bringing you all the action from Campbelltown. Two desperate teams, both 0-2. Two precious points on the line here tonight as Tamou scored the first try of the game all the way back in the 7th minute. Well, we've had some talking points beyond that. Here is Brooks again at the line, taking it to them. Runs 15 metres or thereabouts before Nicarima is able to stop him with the help of Sirinen. Now Madden Little in and away. Links up eventually with Offa Hengawi, but there was nothing doing through the middle there. Nobody really pushing up in support for the Tigers, so it just died in the middle of the field. The back of the Brooks run should have been more doing for the West. Offa Hengawi comes to Madden. Rubbers. It's an awkward one. Montoya does well. They'll trap him though. They sit him down inside the end goal. More pressure coming up on the Warriors.
Yeah, fair bit of desire there by Leilua. He knows a few of his men are injured and wounded. Only one replacement left. A little grubber kick in and behind by Madden. Look at the chase by Leilua. Reads it beautifully. Makes the tackle. And here's the game right on the line now. The Tigers have done all the hard work. They've forced the line drop out. They need to score.
Pickle juice for the cramp for Reece Walsh. See if that does the trick. Still got a quarter of an hour remaining here. If he's got issues, there's a long way to go for the fullback. It's the Tigers to bring it back. Here is Alex Twile, still searching for his first try in the NRL in game number 92. Madden comes across here. Goes to James Tamou. Skipper tonight for the Tigers in this rotating leadership group they have. Now Brooks at the line. Laurie looking to his outside, takes the tackle though. Tavunga was there, had some help with 3 Warriors involved in the tackle. From Simpkin. To Brooks. Tamou will just punch it forward while they get themselves a bit of shape on either side. Brooks floats back to the left-hand side. Madden is right. He gets a chance, takes them on. Stopped there by Aitken. Simpkin runs back towards the uprights. Stopped only 5 metres out. Looking for another repeat set at worst here, Wes. Brooks, Rubbers, off the boot there of Fanua Blake. He did well, the front rower. He reached out like he was a Russian Cossack, tipped it back into his own hands and held on to it.
Well, they needed a result there again, the Tigers. Well done there by Fanua Blake. Threw the boot out, collected the football. Just the bounce favoured him. The Tigers have put themselves in a position here to get that one try. They've made a number of breaks in this game. Just can't get over that line again.
Now Tavunga. It's the Warriors. Some players receiving attention behind the play, and now Matt Lodge coming back into the fray also. Davida pushing out here on this left-hand side. They've stacked some numbers here. Or the kick into the back of Simpkin. Not played at. It goes to Offa Hengawi, and this will be play on.
He's offside, is he?
Offa Hengawi was in front of where the ball made contact. Was it Simpkin? I'm sure the ball ricocheted off.
Gee, that's a great relief there for the Warriors. A lot of players down on their haunches and hands on hips.
Boy, in fact, it was Madden who the ball made contact with, and Offa Hengawi is offside by about 30 centimetres.
Geez, that's a relieving one for them. They were doing it tough coming off their line. Both sides looking down and out at the moment.
As we look on at Accor Stadium, and there he is. Boy, it'll be a fascinating atmosphere when Latrell Mitchell takes on the Roosters tonight. And blockbuster on Friday night footy right here on Fox League as Lodge will play it. That's to follow this one as Taras Davida on the inside here for Tavunga. It's Egan from dummy half. He finds Lodge. Nicarima. Which to his outside. Little short ball there and almost ghosting his way through. Nice line run by Sirenan. Well tackled, though, by Seyfarth. Harris DeVita. Lodge. He just punches it towards the uprights. 4 plays gone in this set. It's Harris DeVita. He juggles and it goes to Madden. Nobody in front of him. Still nobody there to stop him. Has he got the legs? Now they're coming. Nicarima. Montoya is there. He drags him down 15 metres out. Hanging on, hanging on. It's a penalty. It has to be a professional foul.
It certainly does. Just hung on a little bit too long. The scramble there from the Warriors was excellent. You need to jump off. Montoya it is it? It gets sent to the sin bin.
Nathan Brown can't believe his luck. They're on the attack, deep on the attack. Harris DeVita, a simple mistake. Madden, for a while there, it took a long while before they got to him. Montoya was there eventually. Now, he figured, I'd rather give away the penalty, but he surely can't have thought he was going to the sin bin, but he was always going to the sin bin.
Yeah, just couldn't place himself in the right position back on the inside there in Norfoluma, but just laid on. There was nothing the referee could do. The Tigers take the quick tap. Warriors down a man. Here we go.
Let's see how much poise West have right here. A one-man advantage for basically the remainder of the game, all but the last 70 or so seconds. It's Offa Hingawi. Almost an immediate mistake by the Tigers. He has to stop on the run and then almost got stripped one-on-one by Matt Lodge. He'll play it there. Simpkin out of dummy half. There was nobody at marker for the Warriors. A set restart as well. They were offside on their own line. It's Brooks coming back towards the middle. Takes them on again, bounces back to his feet. The ball offloaded. Offa Hingawi was there. Stopped just by Curran. It's Lodge square there at marker. They say yes, he was. As Simpkin is wrapped up pretty quickly from dummy half. Leilua fires it. Brooks comes out here to Laurie. Plenty of numbers out there for the Warriors. Laurie does some stepping. For the second time in this set, there's almost a mix-up and Laurie has to almost submit to the tackle for fear of giving away an obstruction penalty. Come back to the middle. Through Gildart. He links up with Madden. Leilua. Garner jamming in very quickly. Good defence from Rocco Berry. Last play. It's a kick from Madden. Not a great one. Knocked on there by Seyfarth. He toes it forward. Penalty to the Warriors. It has to be said, it was a less than impressive set against a 12-man defensive line from the Tigers.
Well, just all over the place, weren't they? A couple of wasted tackles. Simpkin in the first one, running from dummy half against an opposition right on their goal line who was struggling. A man down. Kick not high enough again. Knocked back there. Seyfarth just knocks on. But that was a sloppy set there from the Tigers. It just looked like they panicked exactly when you need someone with a calm head. It just didn't happen for them.
He got very sideways towards the back end of that set. It was screaming for Brooks to go to the line, take it forward with him and get a quick play the ball and then just do the numbers down either a short side or a long open side. Instead, they fumbled their way through a set and the Warriors have held on. And we still have 7.5 minutes remaining while Montoya is in the sin bin.
Yeah, Warren, if ever there was a good professional foul, that was it. Marcelo Montoya staying on Jock Madden too long. If he gets back to his feet and plays it and the shift to the left happens, I'm certain the Tigers score. They had the Warriors shut to ribbons out wide.
Well, he rolled the dice, he pays the price, and we'll see how it works out for the Warriors. For the moment, they're here inside the Tigers' 30. It's Lodge. Played eventually for Egan. Comes across Harris DeVita. Curran tries to get away from Tamou. Looked a bit tired there in that effort, did the skipper and front rower. Last play for the Warriors. Goes to Nicarima. He'll kick towards the corner. Pressure here on the outside men. Going up there to make a catch. It was a good catch again by Stafford Toa.
Well, it looks like he stole the ball out of the grasp there of one of the Warriors players. Good take. Been good under the high ball.
He has been terrific. The Tigers on that left wing now. He's got an issue with some cramps perhaps behind the play. Oh, Brooks takes it to the line, swings it back to Gildart. That was a tough one to catch for the English centre, and it's put the Tigers under huge pressure here.
Well, the other thing, it's all about field position here. Get the ball back, and then the miracle ball out the back. It was a horrible pass. Sometimes you just got to hold your nerve and get to your set when the opposition's a man down. That just eats up the clock while he's off.
It wasn't a situation where you want Brooks having to take it to the line like that, where you work it away from your own end. It's a job for the outside backs, the wingers. Toa admittedly was back behind the play with a cramp. Just needed a couple of carries from outside backs, but the forwards caught their breath. Instead, the Warriors have it here. And it's Harris Tavita to play it, 10 away from the Tigers line. Aiken goes to cover. I'll just work it forward. They lead by 4. Nikarima on the right-hand side, 2 wide, barking instructions. Lodge. Oh, an awful pass. It might have been forward out of the hands. It won't matter because Toa ends up with it for the Tigers.
What was that from Lodge?
I think Nathan Brown's done a lot of things in his time in rugby league, which is a fair stint now, both as a player and a coach. I don't know, with 12 men on the field looking to use up some time on the clock, he's ever seen that before.
Yeah, I think he'll be just sending the message out to the Lodge. Just tuck the ball under your arm. Try and eat away at this clock. Don't try and be a ball player there. Ball slipped out of his hands. The Tigers will be the most relieved on the park.
Remembering the Warriors in the first 2 weeks have been in this situation where they've led in the second half, only to come up with a duck egg at full time. High tackle here against Egan, and Brooks will find the line. 5:50 remaining in the game, and another 4 minutes while Montoya pulls his heels back in the sin bin. Here's Offahingawa.
The Tigers make their final interchange. It is Tyrone Peachy time.
Tailor-made perhaps for this moment, the one-man advantage. We'll see what he can offer. To be scheming with Brooks. Looks they get themselves inside the 20. It is Peachy at the line. He goes to Brooks. Out the back here for Laurie. 3 on 2. Sliding. The Warriors recover as Gildart digs his heels in. And he'll play it at the Warriors 20. Comes back to Brooks. He finds Peachy. Yeah, set deep on this right-hand side. Nobody really steaming onto it, though. Leilua cuts back on the angle. Takes some stopping. He'll take it down 10 metres out. They've used up 4. Here is Peachy taking them on from close range. Fires it out the back, and he turns it over. Luckily for him, Matt Lodge diving on it has knocked it on. He's going to say, I didn't, and will challenge the call.
Well, the great thing about Peachy is he's trying to get his hands on the ball. I think Lodge does knock on here.
On the ground.
Well, I guess potentially he's thinking, at worst, I'll buy my team some time here to catch their breath and get ready for the next set of 6 defensively.
Here's Peachy just firing the ball out the back. Here's Lodge with the ball bobbling around on the ground. There's the bounce. Does he get his hand to it? Well, I think he bobbles it just there.
Yeah, if there was a knock on, it came
late.
Just looking to see if there's any knock on the ground.
This angle here with the curvature of the playing surface won't help us out. Well, just there. Was it not securely in that right hand? He shoveled it back initially with the left hand. That's all going backwards.
Matt Lodge
there.
knocks the ball on the ground into his own leg. The challenge is unsuccessful.
Say, maybe the first one was a knock on. A tough call. I think there was a knock on there at any rate with the second attempt. Either way, the Tigers will have it.
Nice place to get the ball to, 10 metres out in the middle of the park. Let's hope they don't rush things here.
Trial second half so far. Blocker, who's the man at the Tigers to deliver late?
Well, I want Peachy to get his hands on the football. He's done it before. He's got plenty of experience.
Not too far away from a kickoff between the Rabbitohs and the Roosters. Stay with us live beyond this game. Here are the Tigers. It is Brooks at the line. They'll get a set restart. The Warriors offside from the scrum on their own line. So 6 plays from this point here. Simpkin.
He's wasted some tackles when they've been a man down, Simpkin.
Hold the goal line. Wait, hold.
He'll play it eventually here. Brooks at dummy half. Comes out to offer Hingawi. Madden goes out the back. Oh, Laurie puts it down. Can you believe this? His head reels back. He knows the gravity of the moment. And the Warriors now 2.5 minutes away from being back 13 on 13. The Tigers here compound the error by being offside.
Yeah, just try to spin off the line. There's the error again there from Laurie. Just remember back when the ball was kicked back in field and he knocked the ball on just as he's about to put it down. Try the second half.
There has been a lot of talk off the back of the opening 2 losses for the Tigers this season about Luke Brooks and his form at halfback and the coaching of Michael Maguire. I don't care if you're Wayne Bennett, you're Jack Gibson, you're Vince Lombardi. If your team turns up and does that when they've got a one-man advantage, I don't care who the coach is.
You're 100% right. After a great start to the game, their completions were good. They've looked very tired and rudderless when the Warriors have been down a man the last 10 minutes. It wouldn't matter who you had in your side. If you make those mistakes, drop ball like that, you can't win.
40 metres out, Longe will punch it forward. Just on 90 seconds away from being back to the full complement. So if they can somehow force a repeat set here, they could ensure they have the ball by the time Montoya rejoins the field. Here is Lodge. He takes it down within about 12 of the Tigers' line. It's Harris DeVita who will take it to the line, won't risk putting a kick in for fear of giving away a 20-metre restart. They'll make the Tigers work it away. And a set play situation here, 5 out from their own line. Montoya is back, waiting for the all clear to be 13 on 13. The Tigers might have to go 90 metres here in this set, try and somehow level the game.
Well, they won't go 90 metres if they keep going one out. They need to shift the ball.
Here's Brooks at the line. They've turned it over again. When they needed cool heads, they've lost theirs and replaced them with a pumpkin, the Tigers, in the last 10 minutes.
Yeah, they've lost their way. It just looks like they're panicked. You're still going to go through the process when there's a man down in the opposition. And they just made too many errors when the Warriors have only had 12. The game was on the line. They just couldn't nail it.
Here is Lodge. Stands and delivers. Harris DeVita puts it down. So there will be one last chance here for the Tigers. If they can stop the clock, they can have potentially a couple of plays before Montoya is back out there to make this 13 versus 13. 90 seconds remaining now. He's close to being back.
And now it's the Warriors who will panic.
It might be the longest 90 seconds of that man's life.
Just wait. Coming in, Joe, head in. Clock off. Time on.
Madden with the scrum feed. The Tigers win it. They come out to this right-hand side where Norfoluma is stopped just outside his own 20. He thought he might have caught one around the head. He'll play it all the same. Madden turns it back on the inside here for 12. They need somebody to poke their nose through the line. Montoya is back. The Warriors have survived the full sin bin period. Now Gildart down the left-hand side. Pops a ball in, looked forward. It was. And the Warriors surely have hung on here tonight.
Yeah, again, a little bit of panic there from the Tigers. Their left-hand attack has been excellent, but this time Gildart just tries to flick the ball out the back, the impossible ball. Would have been better off taking the tackle and get right to the end of their set. And there's another turnover.
By my calculations, the Tigers, with 13 versus 12, have failed to complete their last 4 sets of 6.
You just panic. You just need your halves to take control. And it hasn't been rock-hard defence or anything losing the ball there. Tough stuff from the Warriors. Just been the handling of the Tigers. It's really gifted them the win. They haven't really won it. The Tigers have lost it.
So much again to talk about coming out of this game. And hark back to that decision not to go to the bunker for the Luciano Leilua put down in the in goal in the 20th minute. That'll be spoken about for some time to come, potentially, certainly by the West Tigers camp, as Matt Russell told us earlier in this second half with the Warriors. They've been game themselves, and while they've coughed up a couple of leads in the first 2 weeks, they will hang on here tonight as Tavunga takes it forward. He doesn't want to play the ball. The final few seconds will tick away, and that will do us here tonight at Campbelltown. The Warriors open their account for 2022, and the agony and the ecstasy and the contrast between Nathan Brown and Michael Maguire in the coach's box. Reece Walsh is all smiles. Luke Brooks can't believe they didn't find a way to at least level the game at 16-all when they had a one-man advantage for almost the entire last 11 minutes of the game. At full time, the Warriors have beaten the Tigers here at Campbelltown 16 points to 12.